how to start an energy audit step by step. When you undertake an energy audit, you actually want it to be implemented and to not just be a report that collects dust. And today I'll walk you through exactly how to start an energy audit step by step, using the same process that actually gets real results in the field based on my experience in undertaking many hundreds of energy audits. I'm Bruce Rowse. So let's just get one thing straight. Most audits fail at the starting line. According to the US Department of Energy, over 60% of audit recommendations are never implemented. Why is that? Because the audit didn't start with the right questions, the right data, or, very importantly, the right buy-in. If you want your audit to deliver real savings, kilowatt hours, carbon dioxide abatement, or dollars, you need to nail the first two steps. Here's how. Firstly, step one is to define your scope and objectives. It sounds basic, but it's where many audits go sideways. So ask these questions. What's the client's real pain point? Is it cost, compliance, carbon, or all three? Are you looking at the whole facility or just lighting and HVAC? How will implementation of the energy audit's recommendations be funded? And what is the budget available to invest in energy efficiency upgrades? I once audited a shipping port where the willingness to invest was really to reduce cost and not so much emissions, although emissions were what they talked about. The CFO really only cared about the high demand charges, not the total kilowatt hours. If I'd missed that, I may have missed a significant opportunity to reduce demand, and ultimately that port got really good monetary and demand savings as a result of implementing the audit advice I provided. Step two is to collect your data, but before you even set foot on site. You want at least 12 to 24 months, preferably 24 months of utility bills. And you need to get interval data. And if you don't have that data, you're really missing the full story. Ask for building automation system exports, equipment schedules, any past audit reports. According to ASHRAE, audits with 12 plus months of data are 40% more likely to identify actionable savings. So don't just take what the client gives you. Ask for what you need. If the data's a mess, that tells you something about the site's operational discipline. Step three is to plan to spend a lot of time on site. Now, whilst many auditors favour a half-day or a one-day walkthrough, in my experience, many sites require more time than that on site to be able to really understand the site and the opportunities to save energy. You need to bring the right tools: light meter, infrared camera, data loggers, computer, phone for taking photos, and ask for a desk where you can do preliminary analysis. Don't just show up with just a tablet or clipboard. So on many audits, for example, I found quick wins that needed quite a bit of investigation to unearth. They weren't obvious. Something that most auditors would have missed with just a relatively quick walkthrough. So if you're not willing to really understand the site and how it uses energy and take the time to do so, it's possibly miss out on those opportunities that most clients really love. These are low-cost measures that can give significant savings, and we call them quick wins. Step four is to engage the right people, not just the facility manager, but the folk who actually run the equipment. So ask operators what doesn't work well, what keeps breaking, what gets overridden, and what never gets used. Some great energy savings ideas or insights that can lead to great ideas often come from the people on the ground. And the Department of Energy studies also show that 30% of low-cost or no-cost savings come from operational tweaks, not capital projects. So step five is to document everything: photos, nameplates, control settings, set points. If you don't write it down or take a photo, you'll be guessing. And use a standardized template. It can be from ASHRAE, one that is commonly used in your country, or your own. Consistency is key, and it also helps later when developing a measurement and verification plan. So if you can't trace your findings back to the source, your audit won't stand up to scrutiny and probably won't get funded. Let's just now have a quick reality check. Here's what trips up many energy auditors: not understanding what the client wants, relying on walkthrough impressions instead of data, ignoring the implementation gap, recommending projects that can't get funded or permitted, failing to account for interactive effects, like how a lighting retrofit impacts cooling energy. So don't be that auditor. So to recap, you need to define the scope and objectives of the audit, collect the right data, plan to spend a lot of time on site, engage the right people, and document everything. If you want your audits to drive real change and not just collect dust, start strong. And if you want to go deeper, look for the free lessons linked to in the description below. Great. Thank you.